the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Praino. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
Happy birthday, as they say in the hood.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I showed my girlfriend last night for the first time ever. She didn't know the birthday song, and then I used it in an Instagram post I put up, and then I showed her the 2 Chainz Kanye birthday song video that she had never seen, and she was just like, "What the fuck is this?"
It's so funny. That's probably, what, 10 years old?
11, yeah.
Wow. That's 11 years old. That's when you and I, we were all about 2 Chainz.
Oh man, I'm still all about 2 Chainz.
What's he doing these days?
I don't know, but one of my go-to playlists on my phone, and it's especially go-to when it's like, I just need something that's like really gonna fucking hit right now. I have a playlist called Featuring 2 Chainz, and it's a couple 2 Chainz songs, but it's mostly 2 Chainz featuring on other songs.
He's a good feature act.
I mean, the best. I
Not
can't think
solo.
of no, but like, and then he's got a couple good, but like, I think we've talked about this before too. So many 2 Chainz songs where they're like, he's featuring on the song, and it's like he's always just like, yo, the second I hit the parking lot, hit record. And then by the time I get in the booth, I'll be ready to go. Because every featuring 2 Chainz song sounds like him entering from like rooms away. He's like, 2 Chainz! And it just keeps getting closer. You know, he's like, they're like, I mean, we're just recording whether he's here or not. And then the front door of the studio kicks open. 2 Chainz!
Here's a song. I don't know if you have it him featuring. I think he's on this. Isn't he on Duffel Bag Boy with Lil Wayne?
I don't know. That's not on it. That's for sure.
Add that. I'm pretty sure he's on that.
Okay.
That's in like early. That's an earlier 2 Chainz. But again, I think he comes in. I could be wrong, but I think he comes in with a tight little verse there too.
I should share. I'll post a link of the.
Send it to me.
The 2 Chainz, yeah.
He goes well. Yeah. He goes well with Kanye.
Great, yeah.
They complement each other very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, birthday.
Happy birthday to me. My girlfriend's birthday as well. I don't know if you know that.
That's what you said. Wow.
Yep.
What are the odds?
Shohei Ohtani just found out today. Shohei Ohtani turns 30 today. So we share that with him.
I wonder if he's placing any bets on his birthday.
What's that?
I wonder if he's placing any bets on his birthday.
That's a great question. And of course, RZA. Big birthday. Big birthday today for everybody.
It's a big birthday. 45 for you, man.
I know. That's like, honestly, that's old. It's old. You know why? Sports wise, 44 is like the last sports number, like especially in like baseball or in basketball. Like obviously football guys wear 70s and the 80s and 90s and shit like that. But in 50 player sports, 44 is the last number that like any reasonable player wears. Yeah, fucking Hank Aaron. You got like all the, Reggie Jackson sluggers through the years, 44. After that, you're getting into like, if you're higher than 44 in the numbers game, you're weird. It's like anything higher than 44 is like, or did you just stick with your spring training number?
Well, again, that's you're more baseball on this.
Even basketball. I mean, there's been a lot of 44s, in basketball. There's low 40s, 41s, 40, whatever. But like, Basketball, you're weird. Like, oh, you're David Robinson, you were 50. It's weird. You're weird.
He's a Hall of Famer.
I know, but it was a weird number. It's 20s, it's 30s, single digits, the occasional 41.
Tom Brady was still playing football at your age.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And you know what's funny? And I think about that sometimes sports wise. It's about the only thing you could play at this age is quarterback.
Oh yeah.
Everything else takes way too much athleticism and effort. I mean, even being, there's 45-year-old pitchers, but even those guys, like, I can't imagine it. My arm would be fucking hanging off.
Charlie Huff was like 60.
Yeah.
Remember how long Charlie Huff stayed in the league? Yeah, but those pitchers, they don't do that anymore.
No.
You're not getting the guy in his 40s anymore.
No. I mean, honestly, Bartolo Colon was like the last.
He's the last, huh?
Well, he's done now, but yeah.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
He was the last guy that like went real extra deep.
With pitch counts, with everything that happened.
With pitch counts, with the fact that throwing hard is so important at this point. At this point, when your arm falls off physically and you can't throw, if you can't throw 90% of your max velocity, you're done. What's amazing is like more and more of these pitchers, like their max velocity isn't even what they're hitting when they come up and they're super young. Like it used to be, you come into the league, you're 22, you're 23, you're throwing hard, and then all of a sudden you kind of learn to pitch and it dials back. Now these guys come in, a lot of these guys come in young, add 4 or 5 miles an hour onto their arm over the course of the early part of their career. Then their arm falls off the bone like it's fucking slow cooked ribs, and they're done forever.
How do you add velocity?
Well, I mean, it's there that, if I could answer that with confidence, I wouldn't be doing the Dirty Sports podcast. I'd be, teaching people how to pitch. But, in the best theories, there's leg strength, there's like releasing the ball closer to the plate. Like the idea of the ball speed in Major League Baseball really doesn't have as much to do with how fast you're throwing it as how fast it is when it's getting clocked. So they used to take miles per hour at like different spots. That's why the velocity has changed so much over the years. But like a guy like DeGrom, they would always talk about how much closer to the plate the ball is when he's releasing it. So like you could throw it, you look at those like little league guys. They're always like, oh, it looks like 102. And it's like, yeah, because they're throwing it from 40 feet or whatever. But extension, so as to get like a later release point, arm strength, leg strength, just the repetitive nature,
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially strength building and mechanics.
It's just interesting because that would not have been a thing.
No.
What, even 10 years ago, where you can increase your velocity as you age. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So what'd you do on July 4th?
We got up. The plan was to go to the beach. Plan was to go beach day, and got up. It was a little cloudy. And, like this is my girlfriend's essentially first summer in LA or in Southern California at the beach. So the last couple years, she has only lived here for a couple years, and then her family's had a house in Palm Springs. So she's used to like inland. She's like, it's hot every day. I'm like, not at the beach in the summer. And she's like mad. She's like, why is it so cloudy? I'm like, that's just what the beach in Southern California is in the summer. Like it's overcast, then it burns off, and then it's whatever. And she's like acting like it's like where we live. I'm like, this is what it's like at the beach in Malibu. This is what it's like at the beach in Santa Monica, in Venice, in Manhattan Beach. Like, this is just what Southern California beaches in the summer are.
That's why they call it June gloom.
Yeah. So yesterday we get up and it's kind of overcast, and I was like, it's gonna burn off. Let's just go. It'll burn off. And we went to it eventually burned off. We went down to the beach. Bro, Port Hueneme Beach on 4th of July. I texted you yesterday. I was like, remind me to talk about this. Essentially a Mexican tailgate party. But like, the thing that's crazy is they pack up all this shit. They pack up a whole fucking quinceañera or whatever. And they've got, grills and fucking tablecloths and big vats of fucking probably booze-filled horchata, and they're fucking roasting a pig on a spit and whatever. And they get it all the way to the beach. And then they're just like set up like on the grassy knoll, like in the parking lot. Tents, fucking big old fiestas. And I'm like, why even go to the beach? Why didn't you just do this in your backyard?
Yeah. So they're not actually on the beach. They're in the parking lot.
There's a bunch of people like on the beach. So here there's also these like these like 4-cornered like table things. Like, you've seen these. It's like a crisscrossing wall. And so what it does, it's a crisscrossing wall on like a concrete slab. So on that slab, there's now like 4 different areas with like a table and concrete and whatever. But that's like, even, the beaches here in Southern California, pretty wide beaches. Like, from where you hit the sand to where you hit the water can be a really long walk. Yeah. And the beach here is like Santa Monica wide,
gotcha. So really wide.
So at the back end, like right where you hit the sand, there's all these tables and shit set up, and all these fucking families, and then even next to those tables, people setting up tents. And then we walked to the beach, and you go down to the beach in like Venice on a 4th of July, getting a spot like by the water is like pretty hard.
Yeah, it's packed.
We're like, we have 20 yards radius around us, and we just set up right by the pier. No one near us, just because everybody's in the back. I'm like, why are you even going all the way to the beach if you're going to set up literally like 250 yards from the ocean?
That's insane.
Yeah. Parking lot full of fucking tents. The like grass. You know, like how at Venice, like down by where we lived, like a windward area, there was like, you hit the boardwalk, then you have a bunch of grassy spots, then the beach.
Yeah.
It's like all those grassy style spots filled with tents, filled with parties. Beach, pretty empty. No one actually on the beach.
That's funny. Do you think they were going in the water?
Literally, like, no one in the water yesterday. Like, I mean, I think we probably saw, we were sitting there for 3 or 4 hours. I think we saw probably 10 people go in the water. And Mexican beach party. So everybody in shirts. T-shirts only.
That's the move. T-shirts into the water. Mexicans love wearing
but besides being surrounded by a literal like caravan,
it's like a family reunion.
I mean, thousands of Mexicans. Besides that, it was a pretty like American 4th of July beach day, because there's a cool little like seafood shack, crazy overpriced, but like good little seafood shack down there. So we went down, hung on the beach a little bit. I brought a speaker, played my 4th of July mix. Got a cheeseburger and some clam strips. Had a few Miller Lights. Did I say that already? Yeah.
You actually didn't.
Okay. Had a few Miller Lights. Had a couple canned margaritas. Had a couple fat tires.
Yeah, I was.
How about you? How's your 4th? What'd you guys do?
It was
cool
crappy
party.
Weather here. It's crappy weather here.
Crappy weather. Cloudy.
Like rain, storms.
Wow.
I haven't had one of those in a long time. So basically, it didn't really open up till about 4. At that point, she goes to bed. She goes in the bath at 7. We went out to dinner, a little local bar around here, bar restaurant. So pretty low key. And then of course the fireworks started, and I'm just, I'm here every year.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing this rant. You're in agreement with me every year. I just don't. And I tweeted this late last night because I'm now to this point, and I believe this. You can't like fireworks and also like dogs. You can't. You just can't. And couldn't get Roscoe to pee last night before bed, freaking out. Now he's older, so it wasn't bothering him as much inside the house, but outside, of course. And then of course having a baby. I just, my neighbor was texting me, who I really like, and I was like, he was asking me how Roscoe was holding up, and he's got a puppy. I said, how's your dog? He's like, oh, my dog is a mess.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I said, well, I see there are big fireworks. Where are they? And he goes, oh, they're just so-and-so house a couple streets away. And I'm thinking, the whole neighborhood's kids and dogs. Do you just hate kids and dogs?
Wait, so somebody's setting off fireworks? Like
there was a bunch in my neighborhood, like big ones.
Yeah. As you can imagine, my neighborhood is Mexican. It was like I was living in Baghdad in the during Desert Storm or some shit.
Well, that's how my basement felt last night. It felt, for some reason down here, it was even louder. It felt like Baghdad. I know I do this every year. I just don't understand the joy of a firework. I just don't get it. I will never get it.
And it's funny that you say that. Because
what is it? What is it that makes it fun?
I don't. As an adult, it really truly doesn't make sense.
As a kid, I didn't care.
I know, but as a kid, I understand at least the one thing I can say as a kid is you've only seen it a couple times, right? Like this is something you're like, oh my God, once a year we do this. You get to a certain point, you get to a certain age. If your family's like does those things, or you've been around, like once you've seen fireworks like legitimately 3 times, like you never need to see it again.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you're like, oh, wow, what is this? What? Explosions and like lights and whatever. And then next year, like, it's 4th of July again. Let's do the fireworks thing. And then the next year, but like after 3, like, what the fuck are we doing here? Now, I'll also say this. So, I never know when somebody's going to like fireworks, not like fireworks, like what the fucking deal is. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I'm talking to my girlfriend, and we went out to like Ventura Harbor, and they do like boat rentals there. And I was like, you want to rent a boat like on 4th of July or whatever? And she was like, maybe. So we go talk to the boat rental lady, and she's like, yeah, we'll like on 4th of July, we'll close by like 6 because everybody likes to be out of here by 7 so we can get down to Oxnard Shores where they do the fireworks, which start at like 9. We can all get a spot and whatever. And so then I walk away from there. I was like, hey, just checking. Like, do you want to go to the fireworks thing in Oxnard on like 4th of July? And she's like, no, that's fucking stupid. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God. I'm honestly at a point where like, I think you are dumb if you're an adult who likes fireworks. Like, I think you're I think you like it. You must have a low IQ.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't get it. Again, I'm trying to understand my neighborhood, because there's a high possibility that you're shooting off fireworks and you do have kids.
Yeah.
I live in the suburbs. And again, my neighborhood, dude, half the houses have dogs. So that's what I'm trying to think. Like, when I walk Roscoe, I see a million people walking dogs. That's what it is. It's good. It's suburbia. But I'm just understanding. If you like fireworks, you can't also like dogs. That's where I'm at. You can't, because you see what it does to the animals. They hate it. They're terrified. You can't like both. You just can't.
And that's what my girlfriend said too. She's like, I'd rather just go spend the day at the beach so we can be home with the dogs while they're freaking out.
Yeah.
And listen, I come from a family of absolute lunatic pyromaniacs that liked blowing things up. So even that, like, I even respect that Mikey and John enjoyed watching things go boom, making things go boom. But like, you're 12, you're 13, you're 14, you like things go boom. An adult, if you're an adult and you're like, I'm the guy who's going to drive to the Kentucky County line, state line or whatever, buy a bunch of fireworks, come home and set them off in my yard, you're dumb. You're a low IQ.
So we have a few comments. I'm glad that people are leaving some comments on this because I do want to talk about this. All right. So Jaden has left a couple comments. There's something about blowing stuff up that's really fun on a primal level.
Yes.
Brings out the inner caveman. Yeah. But here's my thing.
But like a couple times.
But here's my thing on that to respond to Jaden. But you're not blowing things up.
You're blowing the explosive up.
But
no, it's certainly not as fun as putting it in a garbage can or a toilet or into a pipe or into something that are you watching the destruction.
But that's my point. I'd much rather watch a bonfire go psycho. I'd much rather a bonfire. It's like in college, if we're doing fraternity shit and we have a bonfire, I like throwing stuff in there and watching the fire get bigger. That's my personal take. I don't know. I'd much rather pee on random things because I think it's funny.
But here's even the thing. So like there is something interesting to me about explosives, like the explosion of the explosive hasn't. But like once you set one off and you're like, I was the guy who took the match to the thing and I made that thing go boom. Like it's not interesting to me. Like I've done it. I did it as a kid. Like that's the thing. It's like at 14 to be like, oh, and then run away and then boom, you're like, holy shit. But as a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old to be like, I lit the wick. Okay. And like over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like,
well, again, I'm just trying to think at 11 p.m. in a residential neighborhood. That's my point of you hate people. You're just I don't know. To me, it's and I might sound like a total Karen here, but I don't think I am. It's you're in a residential, like there is a difference, dude. Venice, there's crackheads everywhere. You and I you accept it. People are gonna be lighting fireworks off all of July. It's Venice Beach. There's crackheads. There's weirdos. That's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Right.
But in an HOA.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're in an HOA. I don't know who's doing it. But my point is, there's a good chance.
I know who's doing it. Like guys named Nick and Derek and Robbie. You know, it's the Nicks and the Dereks and the Robbies of the world. They're like, bro, you got to come over and bring the kids. I'm gonna blow up the things. And they're like, hell yeah, dude. You're gonna have glizzies on the BBQ. Sick, dog. We'll be over.
Oh, okay, so I do love this because now we got people chiming in. So this is what I want. I appreciate it. So Corbin says it's one day a year, not that. But again, I don't think you guys are understanding what I'm saying from my viewpoint. Is there joy on like watching something go up, kaboom, that you're doing? I just, it's just loud and obnoxious, in my opinion. My
opinion of it is like it's one day a year thing. It's like, that's fine. Like, I actually don't mind, that it's one day. It's like, okay, first let's backtrack a little bit. I live in Southern California. It's like 40 days a year.
Yeah, seriously.
First of all. Second of all, okay, it's one day a year. I get that. My issue is not with like fireworks as a whole. I don't mind that the park that you live near has fireworks, or a marina that you live near has fireworks, or that they do fireworks by the Statue of Liberty on 4th of July, or that the Vegas fucking strip sets off fireworks, or whatever, or anything. My problem is with the people who enjoy fireworks. I'm like, what do you like about it?
I agree.
What is it like? if you bring your kids to the park fireworks and you all get a blanket and you sit down and you enjoy it, it's like, I get it. That totally, I understand the celebration. But setting off fireworks for your personal enjoyment, or to like, you're like, because it's the day, I got a big box of fireworks, I'm going to set them off. You have a low IQ. And I am not, I will not budge on that. I do not think there's a lot of PhDs setting off, because driving to Kentucky to get their fireworks and coming on and setting them off in their fucking backyard. And if you do have a large IQ and you're setting off explosives, then you're probably something like my brother, which means you're a sociopath. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Again, I'm just trying to understand the person who's doing it. And even, again, that's a whole other discussion. The fireworks shows, I've never understood either. I've never understood that. People
it's
go
for
down.
kids. I mean, to me, that's who it should. To me, that is the reason for it. Weirdly, this is, I think, what's weird about those is it's like, it's not just for kids. You know what I mean? Adults are like, should we go watch the fireworks? I'm like, no, because we don't have children.
Well, you know, a lot of these baseball teams do, and the Reds do it. I know the Dodgers do it. They do fireworks on Friday after the game.
Yeah.
But even that, I just, again, as an adult, I'm like, what's so cool about this?
Yeah.
Things just going off in there. And I don't know. Some people might say it's art, and that's fine. It's
Dude, when I was a kid, and this is a true story. So the Mets used to do it only, it wasn't like a every Friday thing. So as a kid, it was like once a year. You know, the closest game to 4th of July, or the closest Saturday to 4th of July, or whatever, right? And I remember going to the game that was supposed to be fireworks night with my dad and my brother. And my dad's like, game's wrapping up, it's getting pretty late. And he's like, all right, now we're fireworks. And I was like, we can just leave now, beat the traffic. I'm like 11 or something. Like, we can leave now, beat the traffic, still see them from the car, and get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't need to sit in this seat. Lights go down. We're going to stare up in fireworks. I go, the Mets have a ton of, they're a professional sports team. It's the same fucking show, literally by the same people as like the Bedford Village Town Park, you know, on the East Coast. On the East Coast, there's like some Italian, the fucking Gucci brothers, or the Grucci brothers, or the Grillo brothers, or whatever, that literally do every fire. They're probably reformed mafia bomb men who now just do every fireworks show on the Eastern Seaboard. And it's like, it's the same show. And then, you know who's the worst? You know who the literal worst human alive is? Is the adult who goes and loves it, and 3 minutes in is like, you think this is the finale? Bitch, no, I don't. I think the finale is going to be the real big explosion that happens 26 minutes into fireworks, since every fireworks show in the history of fireworks shows is the same. The same.
I think at this
point,
drone
shows, that's cool. Give me the drone show.
Well, as an adult, I think right now the only acceptable, if you're an adult, to really enjoy it is to be on drugs.
Even that, well, as an adult, like, you're on drugs and you're seeing fireworks.
I don't know.
I was on drugs one time in a national park in Colorado. I was on so much mushrooms that the sky turned into fireworks, and I was like, who needs all the loud noises? I've got the drugs.
Yeah, no, I see your point. I don't know. And maybe it's because I grew up, we never cared.
Yeah.
Like, my dad was never into it. My brothers were never into it. And that's probably why I have a lot of these opinions. We just never cared. So I never understood it, ever. I just didn't get it. But people are going to love it. They're going to do it. It's probably the same. I don't know if is it the same adrenaline rush as somebody with a gun shooting a bunch of shit?
But then you're actually like, you got to aim. You got to, like, if you just shot the gun and it just made the sound, is that interesting? Don't you have to like shoot it at something? Watch the thing. That's what we were talking about before. Like my like I said, my brothers were insane. Like it was always like, throw a fucking firework into that garbage can, throw a firework into that pile of lighters, put a firework in the garden pipe and see what fucking hole. Let's put it in that fucking mailbox. Like, so then you see the carnage. Is it interesting if you just shoot a gun and it makes a sound and you have no idea where the bullet goes? Like again, I mean, I know Mexicans like shoot guns in the air, but theoretically, like that's dangerous because it's still got to come down.
Yeah. I don't know.
We do this every year, Andy.
We do. And I apologize. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Because I don't understand it either. Like the lady at the boatyard is like, we all get down there. I go, like with your kids? Or just like you and your husband just go set up on the fucking watch the fireworks?
Well, I definitely went old man Grandpa Simpson last night. Like outside to no one. I straight up did. I had Roscoe kept trying to run inside, and I was literally out loud just going, shut the fuck up. What are you fuckers doing? And I kept grabbing him and trying to put him in the grass skin, going, pee. You got to pee real quick. You have to pee for bed. You're old. You just got to go. And then he kept trying to run back, and fireworks kept going off. And then I went inside, and Brittany was already asleep. And I'm ranting to no one. I'm ranting in the bedroom. Going, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. And then she just perked up and she goes,
are you okay?
She goes, every year you do this. She goes, it's like you're on steroids. No, she goes, yeah. She goes, it's like you're roid raging. She goes, this is your roid rage every year. It's fireworks. It triggers you every year. You get so mad. And I said, yeah. I said, for obviously now I'm more mad. We have a dog, and I was like, also, I was like, she's not coincidentally restless last night, sleeping in the other room, even though it got the sound machine cranked up. Oh, she's suddenly just making a lot of noise. No, because there's bang, bang, bang going off when she goes to bed at 7:30, and that's going on until 12:30.
Yeah, you're more angry about it than I am. I'm just like, it's sort of, for me, I don't know whose attitude about it is like more negative, but you're definitely more angry about it. But I treat it the same way I treat, like, I think of fireworks like reality TV or Taylor Swift or every Marvel movie. I'm just like, yeah, man, world's full of really fucking stupid people.
Okay, I'll make a confession. Speaking of angry, I'll just make it. I know people are like, Ruther, you did not. Did I get in my car and drive around and try to find out who was shooting
Jesus Christ. And then you were going to go like, what is this about?
Oh, it's full Karen.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I've accepted. I can tell you what it's about. The people that you find there's not going to be a guy smoking a pipe like, well, sir, you'll know that the fireworks, what they represent is the explosion, the bombs that we use while fighting the cannon fire when we defeated the British in the Revolutionary War. So this is hearkening back to the same sounds that really express what it is to be free in America. What you're going to get is some guys like, get the fuck off my lawn. Fuck off my fucking lawn.
I wanted to know, and if I didn't see, I was like, or at least know the house.
Blowing shit up, bitch. Get the fuck out of here, Karen ass bitch.
But again, to me, it's not. I'd be like, dude, it's not blowing. You're not blowing shit up.
Yeah.
You're literally not. You're shooting something.
I'm gonna blow up you if you don't get the fuck out of here, Karen ass fucking Karen. You're like, all right, bye.
But see, to me, that's not even like
Robbie, Nick, get him.
Confronting somebody isn't even. I don't even think that's as Karen. Like, but I maybe it is. It's just like, again, I don't. It's the combination of now that I have a dog and a child on top of it. I don't get it. I don't get the joy. Like, Is it the same adrenaline rush as
Susie, Melissa? Stop making Taylor Swift friendship bracelets. Robbie, Nick, enough with the IPAs. We got a Karen to fight. You're like, okay. Just basic ass dumb people. You'd have been a war and just fucking. You would have gone over there, some guy in Crocs and cargo shorts. Would have been like, because I like the sound. And my kids like the sound too. And his kids are in the corner like, oh. Actually, we'd like one day where there's not loud noises here, Dad.
Well, glad it's over. But you'll be dealing with it for another 30 days the rest of the year.
Yeah. We did. I mean, every day here.
So, Praino.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Bronny because the Lakers gave him a guarantee. I told you this is going to happen. They gave him a guaranteed $7.9 million. So let's round up $8 million.
Really? For 2 years?
Did you not see this?
I mean, I saw the number. I didn't know it was 7.9 million.
4 years.
4 years. So he's getting $2 million a year. That's wildly different.
Yeah, but the fact that these quotes, dude, this to me, I said it last episode. I'm going to reiterate. LeBron cares more, and that's fine. He can care what he wants about, but don't tell me you care. He cares more about playing with his kid than actually winning. He does. He does. And the Lakers do. And that's, I really am sticking with that stance. And JJ Redick, after he signs this contract, says, I got to pull up this quote.
So just to be clear, he's essentially getting less than $2 million, just under $2 million guaranteed for 4 consecutive seasons. Correct?
Correct.
And the league and the minimum for a rookie player.
So it was an option.
Is 1.1 million.
Well, yeah, but here's a great thing in the comments. The 55th pick last year, was the ACC Player of the Year. Led his team to the Final Four and got a 2-way deal for $550K.
Right. Well, Bronny's not getting a two-way deal, so that's an important distinction for that.
But the point is, again, this is like next level. It's a surreal nepotism. And look, Bronny is saying things. I mean, in my opinion, he's already lying and saying, I don't know if you saw this quote. He said that he never really thought about going to play with my dad. Get the fuck out of here.
He never really thought what? That he was going to play with his dad? Or
he said he never really had a thought. This is his direct quote. Never really had a thought of me going to play with my dad. That wasn't a main focus of mine.
Oh, he's a liar. I mean, well,
he's a liar.
The last part maybe contextualized it. It wasn't a main focus of his. It might have been a main focus of LeBron's. You know, maybe it wasn't a main focus of Bronny. Like Bronny's just like, I'm going to be a basketball player. I think the idea that he never had a thought about it while his dad is angling to happen is ridiculous. But like it not being a main focus of mine, okay, I guess that contextualizes it. I really listen.
Did you see JJ Redick's quote? Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, bro. That's a clown comment right there. And you and I both said this. You're walking in. This is a terrible situation for JJ Redick. It's a terrible situation, my opinion.
Bronny James isn't going to play. Why is this a terrible situation for JJ Redick?
Because he already doesn't have control.
Well, the coach is never going to necessarily have control of your roster.
I know, but even saying those things, it's.
But you know what? Here's the one thing that needs to fucking stop being talked about. Like, who does have control then? So JJ doesn't have control, and the buses don't have control, and Rob Pelinka doesn't have control. LeBron James, who didn't have a contract, who had a player option for this year, he has control based on what?
He does.
But based on but my point is, no, he doesn't. Actually, he doesn't, because you could just be like, no. He doesn't have control. This is the LeBron, the GM argument all the time is there's always the option to say, no, you don't get that.
But they don't because he has control. That's my point.
But what I'm saying is he doesn't. He doesn't have control. What he has is he's LeBron James. So in the end, they defer the control to him. But like, he doesn't technically ever have control. Like, Le GM is. Yeah, are you telling me that LeBron James picked the roster in Miami?
Well,
no, because Pat Riley actually had control.
But that's
there.
different. You're talking 12 years ago.
Right.
14 years ago. My point is, as his career has gone on, come on. We know LeBron has had more control.
But I'm saying he doesn't actually ever have it if they don't want to give it to him. That's my point.
But my counter is, but they are.
Right, they are, because he's the greatest player of all time.
So with that comes critique, and I think a lot of them are fair. I mean, look, the whole thing right now, again, like I said last episode, and this is up for debate, and that's fine. Does this make it easier on his son? I don't know. It makes it easier to get on the NBA, but the microscope that's going to be on him, I don't know if that's necessarily good for your child.
Of course, it makes it easier on his son, though, because it gets him there. Like, you can't prove whether or not you're NBA worthy unless you're in the NBA. And here's the thing. We can talk about we've talked about it before, but we can talk about what he did or did not do in college. We watched multiple years in a row where Drew Timme dominated the NCAA tournament and was taking Gonzaga deep on his back every year. I think he was certainly an All-American his last season. I bet you he was an second or third or whatever team All-American for the better part of his Gonzaga career. He didn't get drafted, dude. Like, what you were able to do before and what you project to be in the NBA are different things. We can argue until the cows come home that Bronny James is or is not an NBA talent or an NBA prospect. And certainly he's on the Lakers because his dad is the greatest basketball player of all time and demanded that he be on the Lakers. No one doubting that. His salary is probably higher so that he wasn't just a two-way G League player. That's because of his dad. But I just think the story behind this of LeBron James got some absolute nobody who's never picked up a spot in the NBA, and LeBron James is shadow running the Lakers. It's like when you get a guy like Michael Jordan wasn't shadow running the fucking Bulls, and Kobe Bryant wasn't shadow running the Lakers. Kobe Bryant didn't demand a trade out of the Lakers, and then they were like, fine, we're not trading you. We're going to go get Pau Gasol. Here you go. It's like,
yeah, but hold on. In each of those, again, those are different circumstances, and Kobe almost was traded to the Bulls.
He almost was traded, but then he wasn't, and then they got him the star that he wanted so that he could fucking
which again shows the power and the cachet these guys have. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I know, but I'm just saying, like, we're acting like this is new, that like teams are catering to their star player.
No, I'm not acting like it's new. Of course, teams have always catered to their star player. All I'm saying is I have not seen it to this level, in my opinion. And I'm sure there might be circumstances out there. I've just never seen it to this level. You even said it last episode. He should be doing a G League two-way contract.
I would argue this is not nearly on. Let's look at the other team in LA. Right? Let's look at the other team in LA. The Clippers acquired Kawhi Leonard. the Clippers had SGA on their team. And then the Clippers traded a guy who is now an MVP candidate and the number one player on the 1 seed in the West to acquire Paul George so that Kawhi Leonard was happy. They traded multiple draft picks, and they traded a guy who's significantly better than Paul George to make Kawhi Leonard happy. They didn't win a goddamn thing. And now Paul George is gone. So now you don't have Paul George or SGA, all because they wanted to make Kawhi Leonard happy. Do you think in retrospect, the Clippers would have been happy if Kawhi Leonard said, you don't need to make that trade. Keep this homegrown star you have. But if you want to really make me happy, I need you to draft a guy 60th and give him a 4-year, almost minimum contract. What team would be better off long-term? The Clippers team that Kawhi forced them to trade for Paul George, or the team that Kawhi Leonard forced them to draft a guy in the second round that they'd never, ever hear from again?
Well, look, both circumstances I wouldn't vouch for, is my point.
But all I'm saying is we're acting like that LeBron James has reshaped the entire future of the Los Angeles Lakers to accommodate his son, Bronny James, when he's done nothing of the sort.
I didn't say he's reshaped it. What I've said is the Lakers.
But you said it worse than we've never seen it cater to a star like this before.
Well, we've never seen somebody cater to get their son, is my point. That's my point.
Right. But the ask wasn't really as big as the ask that other stars have made.
I stand by what I said. I don't think the Lakers, in my opinion, and also LeBron, they don't care about winning right now. And I would argue, I would counter that with,
if the Lakers don't care about winning, what do you think they care about? What's their end game? How in the world does this make them more money?
Storylines.
So the Lakers are going to doubly sell out every game?
Look, my point is,
no, my point, how do they make more money drafting Bronny James?
I'm not saying they make more money. What I'm saying is the Lakers get a good pick in the first round, according to whatever. A guy who was projected to be taken much earlier. A guy who also LeBron liked. Right? They get a 3-point athletic guy who can jump out of the gym. You have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron, like you have a core there. Say what you want. They made the Western Conference Finals last year. They got swept
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. Well, that's what I mean. You know.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're that far away. And
I agree with you because I think the Lakers are trying to win, and I think the Lakers' only hope of winning in the near future is to have LeBron James.
So we agree.
Right. So what they're doing is they're trying to win by making sure they don't lose LeBron James.
I would counter that with LeBron was never leaving LA. That's my opinion. I think he cares so much about being in LA, the entertainment world, all the other stuff that he does outside of basketball.
He's got 1 year left.
I just don't think he was leaving.
He's got 1 year left or 2 years left. He wants to play with his son. That's the next thing he wants to do. What if he didn't have to leave LA? What if he went to the Clippers?
I don't think he would have done that. That's just
you could have played hardball with LeBron over that. You could have called his bluff on that. If you were the Rob Pelinka, you could have called his bluff on that, or you could have just been like, I don't even have to think about it if I waste a 55th round pick or a 55th overall pick, and then I never even have to find out the answer.
I think LeBron would not have gone to another team this late in his career. I think we always talk about Jordan, his legacy. I think LeBron thinks just as much about his legacy. And how that would
I don't know about just as much. He's not paying off stat keepers, but
I think he cares a lot.
Do you think this hurts LeBron James' legacy?
Ultimately, no. Probably not. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of it. I've obviously made that known. And that's that.
I'm not a fan of
fine.
it either. I just think that the takes are outrageous. I just think like your hatred of fireworks is reasonable to me. Everybody's hatred of this is like, what did the guy really do? He forced the team to if you believe at gunpoint, he forced the team at gunpoint to waste their 55th overall pick. Kawhi Leonard forced a team to trade multiple first rounders and an MVP candidate to make him happy. But
that's a known fact.
Well, what do you mean that's a known fact? Yeah, of course it's a known fact. Kawhi wasn't coming unless Paul George was coming. Kawhi wasn't going to be happy on the Clippers unless there was a second star. Yes. Doc Rivers has been on the Bill Simmons show talking about how he tried to tell Kawhi Leonard that SGA is going to be a star.
But again, I don't know why you're bringing all that up.
Because I'm saying we have seen in the NBA teams cater to their stars' whims for decades now.
Yeah, we agree the teams have catered, and my counter is you shouldn't. I'm just saying you shouldn't.
Yeah, but that it's the era of player empowerment. That shit is over.
But when has it really worked out is my point.
Well, the Lakers won a championship because LeBron, GM, quote unquote, forced them to get Anthony Davis.
Well, I think at this point, this whole force them, they're obviously looking to make moves to pair him with somebody because they knew the team wasn't good enough with just LeBron. They didn't make the playoffs. I don't think it's a matter of LeBron forced them. The Lakers knew, if we actually want to win, we got to get somebody else.
Which is the same reasoning behind the Clips going to get fucking Paul George, and the same reason that, look at all of the places where players have gone and then it didn't work out. It's like saying like it didn't work out ever. Like the teams that were in it this year. I mean, the Mavericks were in the finals. They paired Luka and Kyrie. They didn't win the whole thing, and no one necessarily forced their way there, but Kyrie ends up there because he's, he forced his way out of Cleveland. He forced his way out of Boston. He forced his way out of fucking Brooklyn. I understand that saying these guys and them pulling the strings, whatever. Of course, you should have a Pat Riley. You should have a GM who goes I know better than you. This is my fucking job. I know better than you. But the idea that this is some grand thing, we have, you went to an ice cream shop with your daughter and you were like, hey, I'm going to buy a bunch of pints of ice cream here, but can you give my daughter a free cone? And they were like, sure. That's essentially what LeBron James did to Bronny, as opposed to you going in with me and us holding them up at gunpoint and taking the store, which is what Kawhi Leonard did to the fucking Clippers.
That's a terrible analogy. Come on.
They threw a fucking 55th pick bone to his kid. And they gave him fucking $2 million a year. The Clippers gave Paul George a max contract.
And Bronny never thought about playing with his dad.
No, of course, that's dumb. He was lying.
But don't lie, man.
I agree with you. I'm not here to defend every single aspect of this.
But all of it. It's even LeBron tweeting oh, with the 55th pick, the Lakers select, just had a moment. Dude, you fucking knew this was coming all along. Come on. This wasn't discovered. We agree. or figured out draft
but
night.
somebody could have picked him before that. Somebody could have whatever.
Nobody wanted him.
So no one wanted him, or he was forced to the Lakers because he was going to Australia if they took him.
Well, both can be true, right? I don't think many people wanted him. One, and I don't believe half the things that come out of somebody like Rich Paul's mouth.
Do you think that there was any potential? Do you think any teams discussed drafting Bronny to try to lure LeBron? Do you think any teams discussed it?
Yeah, I'm sure they discussed it.
All right. So the Lakers made this decision specifically to keep LeBron James.
To keep their star happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a revelation to me. And I don't even think it's I don't think it's a top 10 ludicrous move to keep your star happy. The Lakers traded Shaquille O'Neal in his prime to keep their star happy. The audacity. This isn't within a million light years of the most egregious Lakers move to keep a star happy.
Well,
it doesn't, from where Kobe Bryant forcing Shaquille O'Neal out of town is, you can't even see with the Hubble telescope them drafting Bronny James. That is how fucking far into a different universe.
But again, look, that's a circumstance where guys weren't getting along and the Lakers basically had to choose. Correct?
No, not necessarily.
If you read Three Ring Circus, that's basically where they were at. They were saying, hey, we can't keep Kobe and we can't keep Shaq together. Because especially Kobe doesn't want to play with Shaq. Kobe wants to be the big dog. He wants to be the alpha. He wants to be the
since
number
Shaq
one.
was under contract and they had to trade him, right? They could have kept Shaq and forced Kobe to change his mind or sit out or not be happy or whatever. But they didn't. They catered to their stars' whims and they moved the most dominant big man in NBA history.
And we both agree it was a terrible decision.
Terrible decision, right? But also unfathomably, uncalculably more ridiculous than wasting the 55th pick on LeBron James' son. No one will even be talking about Bronny James 20 years from now. It won't. This story will have be so long fucking forgotten. And to this day, we are talking about the Lakers' potential championships, all the things that happen if Kobe and Shaq stay together.
No one's, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying.
You said we've never seen it to this level.
To get your kid to play with you.
Right. But I'm saying
that's my point.
In terms of what the ask was, it doesn't even match. It doesn't even come close to matching.
We've never seen the nepotism to get again, in my opinion, somebody who was not deserved. That's why I kept bringing up Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr., where at least two guys had the ability. Now you can debate whether Ken Griffey Sr. had the ability at the end. That was my point all along.
Let me ask you something. For Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr., there was a time when the Baltimore Orioles middle infield was Billy Ripken and Cal Ripken Jr., and the manager was Cal Ripken Sr. You're telling me Billy Ripken just happened to follow them in the draft and just happened to end up starting at second base?
Yeah, but again, I'm not justifying any of that.
I know. I'm just saying, we've seen this a million times over in sports. To make this, oh my God, look at what their star made them do. It's not even in the fucking same universe as what some stars have made their teams do.
Again, at the end of the day, I just don't foresee the Lakers doing anything. And I think part of this is where they're at as far as caring about winning as an organization and as LeBron James as a person. That's all I'm saying.
I think anytime you have LeBron James, who's still playing at a supremely high level, maybe not compared to LeBron James, but compared to the league, and Anthony Davis, who at any given moment can be one of the great players in the NBA, I think you are one guy away at any given moment. If you have a rounded out roster, if they have a team of depth and they drafted the kid from Tennessee and Austin Reeves is still there and blah blah blah. D'Angelo Russell stuck around, like if you have all those guys, you're another piece away, as long as LeBron James is good, from being a contender. And without LeBron James, this team is 100% not a contender. So they did what they had to do to hang on to potentially one more year of relevancy before they restart the whole thing. And then it's Bron's gone, fucking Anthony Davis is gone. You trade Anthony Davis for fucking pennies on the dollar. You start Bronny James at fucking point guard. You lose 70 games. You start the process over.
I know you don't think it. I do think there's a lot of pressure because everyone is going to have a field day if this is a flop for LeBron James and for his kid.
Yeah, which is kind of my entire point of this whole thing is LeBron James will, and it all comes around to the same goddamn thing. LeBron, so he threatens every fucking dork basketball's GOAT, and so they hate him, and they hate his guts. No one, and I mean no one. There was never a field day, like to this day we pretend it didn't happen that Kobe ran Shaq out of town and didn't win a playoff series. You and I are the only people that fucking talk about it. Without him, he couldn't win shit. He didn't win fucking shit without Shaquille O'Neal. Not a playoff series. Not one fucking round. Not one fucking round. He ran the guy out of town. He couldn't get out of the first fucking round. That should have been the fucking story. That should have been this field day. Skip Bayless should have been screaming about that. Stephen A. Smith, you're telling me you're going to take the most dominant big man of all time, make him leave your city, and you're not going to get out of the first round? You're not going to get out of the first round, Kobe? Mr. Bean? Mr. Black Mamba? You're not going to get out of the first fucking round? We didn't ever do that, though, right? No, because Kobe played the weird Michael Jordan cosplay game, and everybody loved him. You gonna be raping chicks and not get out first fucking round? We didn't do that though, did we? No, we're worried about whether or not LeBron James got his kid a free 55th round fucking pick.
Do you think the NBA makes this a 2-day event next year?
The draft?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying because Bronny wasn't going to get picked in the first round, so there had to be some storyline for the second round.
Yeah, and you think that leads to them like adding what, fanfare to a second round?
No, I'm just asking. It was in the comment section.
I don't really understand the question, I guess.
I'll pull it up.
I still don't understand the question.
Do they make the NBA? So like they used to always do the draft. Like I believe it was like a 1-day event, and then did they always do the second round on the second day?
Yeah. No, it used to be 1 day.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. But then it became a 1 day. They started televising. This is what all these leagues did it. They started extending it out. Then the NFL started making, now we're going to draft the first round on Thursday, and then we're going to make it all go through the weekend and whatever. They're extending this out for TV reasons. But in last season, before Bronny James was a thing, I can guarantee you the second round of the NBA draft was televised on ESPN. And people were there watching it in person. Like, I don't understand the question.
The question is, I believe, I guess it would be inaccurate if that's not, if they did do it 2 days on TV, it wasn't just this year, is what you're saying.
And unless I'm wrong,
By the way, your boy, the rumor is your boy Skip Bayless is going to be offered $18 million a year to stay at ESPN. 18 a year.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Yeah, you said Skip Bayless, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did?
Yeah. Which I was like, he's not with ESPN.
Sorry. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
It's ridiculous. You want to talk about who's in charge, who's responsible for that? Who's the GM of ESPN? What is this? Dumber, lower IQ, people who enjoy fireworks or people who enjoy Stephen A. Smith?
He gets clicks. That's why.
Lower average IQ, though. People who appreciate what Stephen A. Smith does or people who appreciate a fireworks show?
I don't know if people actually appreciate what Stephen A. It's just a train wreck that you want to watch.
I think
people do. I do.
You think this is all like, why don't they just put, there's so many ways to go with that then. Why don't they just make, I mean, think about all the people that you could put in that position. Why don't they just make it fucking Cat Williams? Why don't they just give Cat Williams $40 million a year?
Because Cat Williams, he's not talking sports.
Neither is Stephen A. Smith. That's my point.
But people think that. They think he knows sports.
I think you are greatly underestimating how many people actually think Stephen A. Smith knows sports and enjoys Stephen A. Smith's takes.
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the, in my opinion, one couldn't be less entertaining to me. He is fireworks. He's loud noises. He often fully invents players and situations that don't even exist. That's how fucking little he's watching it. He dives regularly into sports he knows nothing about. I'm going to do MMA. You're like, okay, do you know anything about MMA? Man, no one knows about mixed martial action more than me.
That lasted 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's actually called mixed martial arts. To you? You an artist. Oh, you're fancy pants artist, man. I like action. It's mixed martial action. And they're like, maybe you just misspoke and you thought it was action? Are you kidding me? You telling me the Stephen A. Smith. I got A right in my name. You telling me a man who has A standing for something in his name doesn't know what the A stands for in another thing? You insinuating that I didn't misspeak on purpose? Everything I ever did was on purpose. Also, action is what the A stands for in my name. Stephen Action Smith. So, yeah, I know what the A stands for. Or maybe you didn't. And it's okay. You just learned about MMA. I've been watching MMA since the 1960s. It actually started in the late 80s. How dare you question my knowledge? Maybe for you. But my dad put me on his shoulders, taking me deep in the Bronx. Warehouses. little broken down ass buildings. And there'd be men in there in an octagon. Little gloves on. Gay wrestling. I seen it with my own eyes. Maybe you guys, maybe that's why I know it's mixed martial action and you think it's arts. It's been action since I've been watching it in the 40s. My dad would put me into his Model T. He'd crank that engine. And we would go down. Me, my dad, Al Capone. in the octagon.
Al Capone. Stephen A. That Mad Dog's drumming off, man. Going way back in the 40s, the 20s.
Your math is off, Andy Ruther.
God. $18 million a year.
For the worst takes that have ever existed.
Yeah, he gets clicks, man. That's all I care about. Clicks and views.
You know what else will draw a crowd? A golfer with an arm growing out of his ass.
Really? I don't know though. Maybe. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Because we gotta get out of here in the next 20. Let's do a couple quick calls.
Okay.
It's been a minute since we've done calls. Hotline 310-359-8365. Here is one that is appropriate for July 4th weekend.
What's going on, boys? Kyle Aronofsky calling back once again from the dismal Garden State Parkway in Brick, New Jersey. I'm curious, what are your favorite, backyard barbecue party games? I am always a beer pong guy. Never been a fan of Flip Cup. There's a new one that I have called Putter Pong, or Battle Putt is another one. It's essentially beer pong, but you putt the ball into the 6 holes, putt a golf ball into the 6 holes. As a 20-something-year-old white man, that is just a beautiful, beautiful time. I saw at a party recently they had like the hatchet throwing thing, but they were foam hatchets that went into like these plastic sticks to stick into the target. Had some fun with that one. Another game I can't fucking stand is Can Jam. I just think it's terrible. It takes up way too much room, like in the party space, in the backyard space, also in your garage. I'd much rather just throw a frisbee around with a couple guys. That's a good time. Am I missing any? I don't know. Pool beer pong gimmick never works well, like the floaties for beer pong. Pool volleyball, no, you guys are fans. That one is a classic. Can't beat it. Don't see it enough nowadays. That's it. Condoms are for the New England Patriots.
I mean, he went deep into that.
I mean, I was on board with everything except Can Jam is one of the greatest games. Can Jam is in my top 3. Can Jam's in my top 3. Can Jam's right there. To me, my backyard games are, if you have room. Okay. If you have the room for it, the number one backyard barbecue game, without a doubt, hands down, wiffle ball. I'm a wiffle ball guy. We built a wiffle ball stadium in our front yard, put a keg out there. I mean, I'll play wiffle ball all goddamn day. Crew out, grab a 30 rack, throw it in some ice. I could play wiffle ball for 10 hours right now. Let's go play wiffle ball. Beer pong, if we're focused solely on drinking, obviously call it Beirut, where I'm from, because beer pong where I'm from is played with paddles, but we all know the game we're talking about. So beer pong, wiffle ball, bocce, big bocce guy. My dad had a professional Italian style bocce court in our backyard. Fucking rolled clay and railroad ties. Love me some bocce, especially on the right surface. You know, I can't really play bocce in like a high grass, but like on a good like lawn bowling area or a good flat area or nicely cut grass or a proper bocce court, bocce. Can Jam, right there. I love Can Jam. Can Jam takes skill. It takes frisbee ability. It takes athleticism, but you can also hold a beer the whole time while you're doing it. I have a huge drop off between that group and basically everything else. Like, yeah, I'll play Flip Cup. It's fine. I'll play, card. I'll play asshole or whatever. Sure, whatever. I'm not the world's biggest cornhole fan, but like I'll play it. It's fine. Yeah, like horseshoes or like the one where you knock the bottle off with the frisbee. Yeah, it's fine. But my top group, beer pong, wiffle ball, bocce, can jam. Those are the elite. Those are the goats, if you ask me.
I'm definitely, back in the day, it was definitely beer pong over flip cup for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I never really got into flip cup as much. I mean, asphalt, God, it's been so long since I played these. Back in the day. You know what game nobody plays anymore? It's horseshoes.
Yeah. It's too dangerous. It's like lawn darts.
Cornhole's a great. I mean, that's so Midwest.
Yeah. I'm not the world's biggest cornhole fan, but it's like, it's fine. In a pinch, I'll play it. I'll take bocce and can jam over cornhole all day.
You think the mayor was playing volleyball yesterday?
I don't know.
Pool volleyball?
Pool volleyball back in the Ruther pool. Epic. I mean, elite game. Elite setup for it. Pool was just shallow enough.
It was perfect.
All around.
I could actually, we wouldn't be able to do it. I could actually set it up at the HOA pool. I think it's like 4 feet. Maybe it goes to 5 feet.
I'm trying to think when we were on the deep end of the pool at Savagetown volleyball. Were you like treading water the whole time?
Me?
Like, no, generally, like, I can't remember. Was it like deep enough that you were like, or you could still stand there, but it was just like, it was way deeper than the other side.
It was probably 5 feet.
Okay. Yeah. So you're standing, but we were standing like shoulders instead of.
That's why you had to switch. Remember, you switch.
Right. No, I remember
to make it fair.
Yeah.
It's funny because that was obviously epic during July 4th. I went through my head last night. I could go through every single July 4th since at least 2012 that I did. And one of them, I believe, I could be incorrect. I believe we did one at the beach. It was a July 4th / birthday celebration for you in 2014.
Okay.
I'm almost 100.
Right in Venice Beach?
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure.
Okay.
Like there was like a little awning set up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we played volleyball. I remember that. We played it in like Santa Monica, right? Like one of those. Yep.
Right in the edge of Venice, Santa Monica. I believe that was July 4th / your birthday celebration. Because then you gave me a pep talk, actually. You don't remember this.
I don't.
This would have been about 3 months after the brain injury. And you were like, okay, dude, like at some point you got to start dating girls again. You and a few other guys were like, get back on Tinder. Get back on. I know you don't have confidence. You got like face issues. You got lack of confidence. I actually did the next week.
Let's go.
That's a true story. And then I realized, because I was like, well, what's it going to be like? I'm not drinking. I look like a weirdo. And little did I know, it was then excuse that you didn't even have to meet at the bar. Girls would invite you over because you don't drink. And then we can just skip that that step before we have sex. The more you know.
The more you know. Dun, dun, dun,
dun. Somebody's house. Well, I'm going to pull this up. Sorry. Somebody's in the comment section. Just to go back to the firework discussion, I was stuck on a narrow 2-lane bridge over the river here in Sacramento for 30 minutes because cars stopped both directions just to watch the fireworks. Unbelievable. Sorry, Hunter.
And you know what? 4th of July, everybody loses its mind because the cops should keep that bridge moving. But you know who is the perfect example of somebody who likes fireworks? Cops. Low IQ, boom makes them happy. Like loud noises. Every cop is just Brick from Anchorman.
Rick from Anchorman. All right, well, let's do one more call.
By the way, I've met Kyle Aronofsky. I don't know how many times, to a dozen times, two dozen times. Slim guy, tall guy, played hockey apparently. I'm questioning now because I've never seen Kyle like run or do anything athletic. I'm questioning the credit I gave Kyle for his athleticism due to his hatred of Can Jam. I'm like, are you just really bad at it? Like, Can Jam's the shit. What is there not to like about Can Jam? What are we doing here? Also, you live in Jersey. What do you mean it takes up too much space? Don't you guys have yards and shit? We used to play Can Jam in the alley. Remember that?
Yeah. All right, Ski Dog is back. We haven't heard from Ski Dog in a while. He's back.
What's up, Joe and Andy? It's your boy, Ski Dog. Sorry, I've been a little MIA for the past couple of weeks, but I've been searching high and low and all over to find the future of Mrs. Ski Dog. You know who I'm talking about. Huck! I need that girl to spit on my thing. But man, she is harder to find than early NBA footage of Michael Jordan, dog. I tell you what, man. But hey, man, what's with this shit about me hanging out with some dingus golfer baby bitch Brooks Koepka? I ain't hanging out with some douchebag named Brooks on a back nine. The only back nine I'm doing is 9 lines of coke off a hooker's ass, son. Man, I give chicks the eagle. I don't fucking make that shit. A little fucking high right now, boys. But hey, want to give a real good shout out to the Dirty Sports hockey correspondent, Ryan Glatt with the Gap, my dog. He did an awesome job this season, my man. But how come you never mention how a lot of these hockey players have last names that sound like sex moves? I mean, I know I gave a chick the dry sidle last week, and I definitely blew out my hammy doing the stirking on a girl. Anyways, I gotta go, boys. I gotta give a girl a Pavelski. Ski Dog. Ow, ow, ow!
That was pretty good.
Ski Dog's class. Ski Dog's like flying up the rankings.
Ski Dog is a legend, man. That is true. A lot of those hockey guys sound like sex moves, don't they?
Absolutely.
A lot of those names.
The dry sidle.
I mean, it sounds like something you do to a girl.
Yeah.
The Shesterkin. I gave her the Shesterkin.
It's only
you know what that is? You know what
it's only
the
a dry
Shesterkin is?
It's only a dry sidle if you don't hock two on it.
You know what the Shesterkin is?
What's that?
You come on her face and then dip pretzel and beer cheese and then rub that all over her face.
Jesus Christ.
The Shesterkin.
Shesterkin.
Sounds like a German thing or something. Appreciate you, Ski Dog.
Ski Dog.
I wonder what Ski Dog. I bet Ski Dog loves fireworks.
Ski Dog fucking loves fireworks.
He goes jackass. He puts them in his or his buddy's ass and then
totally
shoots them off.
He wears your old like 4th of July G-string.
Oh, R.I.P. Where is that? Did you see Steve-O's getting breast implants? Speaking of jackass.
What? That's crazy.
That's what my girlfriend said, and I just put it into Google real quick. I don't know why.
I mean, I guess because you can get him and then you can take him out, and it's just like he's going to get 1 million hits on it. Like, this is your Stephen A. Smith theory because it'll get clicks, I guess. I love that you're like, why? I don't know. Why did he snort wasabi? Why did he staple his nutsack to his leg? Why did he?
He said, I came up with the idea a few years ago to get a boob job and just film a bunch of really legitimately funny hidden camera pranks with me in disguise. And then revealing who I actually am.
I love that he's gonna have tits and cleavage and then walk around and film pranks. Like people aren't gonna know who he is. You like my cleavage? Like Steve-O? How did you know? What the fuck? I got cleavage, man. We're pretty sure that's Steve-O with the boob job. No, it's not, man. It's Susan. What the fuck are you talking about?
310-359-8365. Give us a ring.
I'm at Joe Praino on all social media, joepraino.com for shows. Tonight, Levity Live Oxnard with Lachlan Patterson. Next week, July 11th, Olsen Run, Eugene, Oregon. Then I will be in New York, Comedy at Pox, Wednesday, July 24th in the Hamptons, 26th, 27th, 28th, Yonkers Comedy Club in Yonkers, New York. Also, after I'm in Eugene, I'll be opening for Adam Carolla in Eugene on the 12th, and I'll be opening for him at Snoqualmie Casino in Washington on the 13th. So come to those.
Cool. Guys, I'm really having fun doing the Andy Ruther show, so give it a listen. And you can find me on Andy Ruther for all social media, bitching about fireworks. Yeah, that's what I do. This is where I'm at in my life. All right. Well, enjoy your birthday.
Thanks, buddy. I won't, but I appreciate it.
Rock out to some 2 Chainz.
Yeah. 2 Chainz.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll be back on Monday. All right, guys. Enjoy the holiday weekend. We'll see you guys in a few days. And as always, stay dirty.